I always cherished my wife, my kids, and even my modest paycheck. Life, in all its forms, was something I embraced. I considered myself a genuinely happy man. Sure, I wasn't rolling in money, but I had built a family and secured an apartment with a manageable mortgage in a decent neighborhood. My wife, Olivia, was the heart and soul of our home, the mother of our two little ones and my entire world. After we bought the place, I took on a second job to make ends meet while Olivia held down the fort with the kids. Our son and daughter, just 2 years old, were too young for daycare. We tackled the renovations ourselves. After all, I had years of experience in interior work, so hiring outside help seemed pointless and expensive. The building was already occupied, and most apartments had been fixed up. One day, as we walked back from the store, I felt a pang of longing. The neighborhood was filled with families, children running around, and a general air of comfort. Our neighbors seemed well off, judging by the string of luxury cars in the parking lot. Near our entrance stood a gleaming, brand-new sport bike, a real beauty. That thing must have cost a fortune, Olivia mused, pushing the stroller. Yeah, no kidding, I replied. Some folks are really living the dream. Probably didn't have to take out a loan for it. Meanwhile, we can't afford much. We haven't even been able to swing a beach vacation or finish our home repairs in 2 years. This mortgage is killing us. Yeah, drowning in debt. We'll be eating ramen noodles before we know it, she sighed. This isn't living, it's just endless hard work. Come on, Liv, I said, trying to lift her spirits. We're doing great. We have our own place, 2 beautiful kids. We'll get a handle on the debt, and then we'll really start enjoying life. We'll save for vacations, then college, then weddings. She cut me off with a deep breath and pushed ahead toward the entrance. Let's just go eat. I still have a ton to do, and you have to work tonight. She disappeared inside with the kids while I trailed behind, still holding on to the hope of a brighter future. The next morning, I dragged myself home from my night shift, exhausted. As soon as I stepped in, Olivia's voice called out from the bedroom. You're late today. Yeah, we were swamped, I said, heading in to see her. She was on the floor, scrubbing crayon marks off the door. Where are the kids? I asked, surprised by the silence. Scarlett's on the 9th floor. They're playing with Lucas. He's the same age as ours, she replied, standing up. Her face was pale, her movements sluggish. Go to bed, she said. I was up half the night with Hannah. Her stomach was acting up again. Twins were a non-stop roller coaster, and Olivia bore the brunt of it while I was at work. I'm heading upstairs to see Camila, she added. What for? She's going to dye my hair blonde. You know I've wanted to do it for ages. Liv, we're supposed to be saving. It's free, she cut in. She's just training to be a colorist. I didn't argue further. Olivia was outgoing, unlike me. She had made friends in no time, while I barely exchanged greetings with the neighbors. That evening, after finally pulling myself out of bed, I found her in the kitchen. She had done it. Her hair was now a bright, striking blonde. The kids had already eaten and were fighting over a toy. Where are you going? I asked. For a walk with the kids, she replied, clearing the table. You're working tonight, right? No, the boss gave me a break. I'm going in the morning. Great, she said, almost too enthusiastically, before rounding up the kids. Something had shifted. With her new hair, Olivia seemed more restless, more preoccupied with herself. But then again, women were a mystery sometimes. Time marched on. I worked tirelessly, Olivia managed the home, and the kids started kindergarten. Yet, something felt off, like an invisible gap growing between us. Our conversations shrank to mere exchanges about chores and schedules. I blamed myself. My constant absence, the long hours, the exhaustion, I thought I was the problem. Then, on a sweltering July afternoon, I left work earlier than usual, hoping to surprise my family. Maybe we could go to the park, spend some rare quality time together. As I approached our building, I spotted that same luxury SUV parked near the entrance. 2 people sat inside, engaged in an animated conversation. I recognized Olivia's voice. Something in me froze. I stopped between the cars, waiting, my heart pounding. I don't know how long I stood there, but eventually she stepped out, tossing away a cigarette. She never smoked. The driver got out after her. They walked inside together. A jolt of electricity shot through me. Without thinking, I bolted into the building, raced up to the third floor, and yanked the handle of our apartment door. Locked. Empty. I sank to the floor, a silent scream building in my chest. A moment later, the elevator chimed, and Olivia stepped out, alone. What's going on? Who was that? I demanded, my voice sharp. She sighed, her expression unreadable. Liam, don't shout. Let's go inside. I'll explain. I followed her in, dreading what I already knew. So you saw us, she said flatly, setting down her bag. Yeah. I was going to tell you eventually. Well, I guess eventually is now. My stomach twisted. This is Ethan. We've been seeing each other for 2 months. My breath hitched. Liv, what are you doing? We have a family. We have kids. She let out a dry laugh. We don't have a family anymore. I filed for divorce 4 days ago. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. I'm sick to death of this, Liam. Your job, the endless repairs, your dreams of a happy future that never comes. I want a real life, not this existence. I'm tired of counting pennies. Tired of watching others live while I just scrape by. I swallowed hard. What about the kids? They're at my parents'. Ethan and I are going out of town for the weekend. You need to be out of here by Monday. You don't have that much stuff. I stared at her, disbelief crashing over me in waves. She picked up her gym bag, walked to the door, and paused. Liam, don't take this the wrong way. I'm just done with you. Look at yourself. You couldn't even finish the damn repairs. You don't earn enough. You don't spend time with the kids. What do I have to gain by staying? The door slammed shut behind her. I stood there, numb. Then, suddenly, I ran. Out of the apartment, down the stairs, out into the rain. I wanted to find him, tear him apart, but they were gone. No car, no Olivia. Nothing. For the first time, I realized I had nothing left to fight for. The family I thought I had was nothing but an illusion. She followed through with the divorce. I moved in with my parents, sinking into a fog of depression. Olivia sold the apartment, paid off the mortgage, and lasted just 2 months with Ethan before catching him with someone else. Now, she was alone again. One day, she called. She wanted to try again. But what could I possibly offer her now? Like she said, there was nothing. And if there's nothing, then there's no point in starting over.